Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a Who review. I am Davros and I'm a Whovian, and today I review Doctor Who, The Christmas Invasion. So yeah, I've reviewed this quite a dozen times already on the channel, but I've always reviewed them in December or around Christmas time because this is a Christmas special episode, but this time I'm purely reviewing it as if I would any other episode. So, yeah. So this takes place shortly after the events of Series 1's The Parting of the Ways, and then that little Children Need special we got in between, where the TARDIS lands in mid-2000s London, probably can't say present day anymore because it's 18 years ago, on Christmas Eve, where the Doctor, the newly regenerated 10th Doctor, is in the aftermath of his regeneration and is resting as he is full of energy. But of course, upon the eve of Christmas, strange alien activities begin to happen with robot Santas killing people, and of course an evil killer Christmas tree, and all before an invasion on Christmas morning where everyone who is controlled by blood is put to the top of their roofs, controlled by an alien race called the Sigarax. And of course, with the Doctor not feeling well and still recovering from regeneration, Rose and the British government and UNIT try and handle things, but of course they need the Doctor, and of course he recovers in enough time to fight the leader of the Sigarax and save the day, only for Torchwood to intervene and destroy the spaceship once it's leaving Earth. And of course the Doctor recovers, gets a new change of clothes after wearing pyjamas, and has Christmas dinner with Rose, Jackie and Mickey before setting off on adventure again. So that's the story there. So what did I like about this one? Well, at the time when I was 14 years old, I remember watching this Christmas Day and still being fascinated by the fact that the Doctor that I knew from the beginning of the year, Christopher Eccleston, is now David Tennant. But it did answer the question, is why do they keep changing actors over the years? And my generation, we got an answer for it because we were a whole new generation of kids that didn't know what regeneration was. So we got first hand seeing what regeneration is. And I thought that was greatly fascinating. But on many rewatches, I see now that this is like a Christmas episode where the Doctor is regenerating, and Rose, Billie Piper playing Rose, I think watching this, as I said already, as a human, a companion, I feel she's representing us, the audience, who are human, and like, us, she doesn't know what's happening with the Doctor either. The old generation probably know what's happening, but us generation, we're not exactly sure what's going on or why the Doctor has changed and why this is happening and stuff. But, we now know of the regeneration, of course. We now know what it's about, what happens and stuff. But, yeah, at that time I thought it was, interesting. Penelope Wilton as Harriet Jones, Prime Minister. I guess one of those things where she's a bit irritating, where she always has to constantly remind people she's the Prime Minister when we all know that. And that got annoying after a while, but I don't blame Penelope Wilton's performance in that. That's just how she was written as that character. Jackie Tyler, Camille Coduri's Jackie, she was a little bit irritating too, especially when the Doctor's trying to get his words in and she's like saying, what do you need, that scene when they're on the, when the Doctor's just wore off those robot Santas, and he's trying to tell her what he needs, but he can't quite get his words out there. Noel Clarke as Mickey Smith. Still, again, at this point he was still Mickey the Idiot, but he had a bit more development this time. I also liked the Sigarax. they look quite creepy with their faces and stuff, especially when the leader took his mask off. And, you know, they had that language. They did look quite intimidating. But then, of course, that scene where David Tennant steps out of the TARDIS in pyjamas, and he's like, goes, "Did you miss me?" From then on, David Tennant stole the show as the Doctor, even though we didn't get much full screen time of him in character, because he spent a majority of this episode resting and recovering from his regeneration. In that final act of the episode, when he fought off the cigarettes, he had his hand chopped off and then he grew it back. Of course, that hand would go on to be found by Captain Jack Harkness, and Torchwood he would use it as a doctor tracker, so he wouldn't get that hand back until series 3. You know, even though he wore jammers, he was brilliant. And then when he went into the TARDIS wardrobe and you put on that suit, that trench coat, those sneakers, and he greatly admired himself in the mirror, being happy with that look, I was like, yeah, that's the Doctor for me. And I love that. And it was a big, you know, taste of what was to come. Because the following spring, the show returned for Series 2 and we got to see David Tennant in full bloom. And, you know, I like to think of that as a preview for what was to come. The golden age of the revival era. And of course, at the time of recording this video, David Tennant is returning as the 14th Doctor this time in 3 60th anniversary specials, which I look forward to. So yeah, this was a good Christmas episode and would be the start of a yearly tradition for the show, which would go right up until 2017. And I think we're going to be getting Christmas specials returning as well in the new Russell T Davies era. So yeah, I look forward for what's to come there. And I looked forward for what was to come at that time. So yeah, Doctor Who, The Christmas Invasion, what am I going to rate this? The writing, that gets a 9. The performances, a 9. The visuals, even though a bit dated now, some of them, I'll give it an 8. And my personal, I'll give it a 9. So there you go. There are my ratings for The Christmas Invasion. What did you think to this one? Do you still like it now? Has it aged well to you? Let me know down below in the comments, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and to share with your friends, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and to hit that notification bell. All of my social media links are linked down below in the description, so feel free to check all that out. I've been Davros the Whovian, and this has been a Who Review, so until next time, run for your life.